Headlines once again after former Nairobi Governor Mbuvi Sonko posted a video online allegedly showing the judge discussing a bribery payoff of a piece of land and how to compromise a case. Tonight, Justice Chitembwe is in an exclusive interview with KTN News and he denies any wrongdoings, accusing Sonko of pursuing vengeance after dismissing a suit seeking to ban Nairobi's new governor and Kananu from assuming office. Now, the judge, who had been arrested back in July over bribery claims, has maintained he will not step aside, following a statement to do so by the Law Society of Kenya Nairobi branch chairperson. My colleague Sophia Wanuna sat down with the judge and began by asking him about the viral video.
There are those videos circulating that have interest in the property. A gentleman by the name Mojirani, I know Mojirani, me I talk the truth, I've known him for about 8-10 years. That he was, how he got into the land, I don't know. But it's alleged that he's holding the title deed on my behalf. So when these issues, when I saw those videos circulating in July, I know who took the videos.
Who took the videos?
There is a gentleman by the name Jimmy Askar. He is the consulate of Nepal. Jimmy has been in Kenya for over 20 years. And when I was practicing, he used to come to my office for legal advice, doing 1 or 2 things for him. So sometimes, that same July, around that time, he called me. And he told me he had been given my number by an advocate. And he told me he's in a problem. So I asked him, what is the problem? He said, look, there are some properties some friends of mine are buying from the Middle East. And they are in Kenya. And the sellers are Honorable Mbuvi Sonko, the governor, former governor, and one Mujirani. But he has realized that they were not telling him the truth. And his advocate had not discovered that there is an appeal pending before the Court of Appeal. And they wouldn't like to spend some money, and yet the appeal overturns what... So he asked me, as my former friend, can I come and see you? They have told me that you have told them never to set foot in your house. Maybe to take you back. On Mbuvi Sonko, I've known him for many years. He comes from Kwale. I've known his father. I know his aunt, Mama Momo.
Are you related?
His auntie, elder sister to his mom, was married to my late cousin, Juma Chitembwe, and they have 2 children, May and Juma. May died. May was a lady. Juma is there. Up to now, I have Momo's number. I can call her and we talk. She calls me Shemegi. So Sonko would come to my place and say, Uncle, but not frequently, but the moment he had a court case, I told him, don't come. True to his promise, he never used to come.
But now on this matter of land,
yes,
there is an appeal,
yes,
and they do not want to have this allegedly appeal go forward and overturned. So there's some money being put there.
Yes. Now, to go back to the matter, Jimmy wanted me to talk to him just like a friend. And he pleaded with me, can I come with these 2 gentlemen? Because I can see, to some extent, there might be loss of money and I will be accused. So out of goodwill, I told him, okay, you come with them.
And these 2 men being the former governor of Nairobi County, Mbuvi Sonko?
Mbuvi Sonko, he came with his man, I hear he's called Peter. Mojirani came. I even asked Mojirani, when you were in Nairobi, he said, yeah, I've been here for 2 weeks. I've been living with the Mheshimiwa here. I didn't know. And Jimmy. So I highly suspect that it was Jimmy taking the videos because Sonko was on my left, Peter was ahead. I didn't invite them to my sitting room. I have a small room in my house. When the entrance, there are seats there. So we sat there. Mojirani was on my right, there was a lady with Jimmy. The lady was introduced as a student. So unknown to me, this was a setup. So later on, I have friends in many places. I was told whoever was wearing some goggles was the one taking pictures of you, and it was Jimmy.
Okay, so let's get a few things straight.
Yes.
On the first instance, and we'll come back to this when the governor is in your house, this man claims to be your brother. You said you've known him for a couple of years.
Yes.
And when he calls you and he's with this man dealing about this money, he says he's your guy and he's the person you have proposed to be the recipient of the money to bring over to you to be the middleman. So what, to your understanding of this conversation, because we see what they're saying and a phone call is placed purportedly to you, so that phone call happened to you, correct?
No, Mwajirani would call, why are you calling me? The same way Jimmy would call, but Jimmy never used to call me. He called me for once and asked me. So Mwajirani would say, you know, I've talked to the owners of the land, Jen has another gentleman who guides him, and we have agreed to sell this land. Sonko had signed an agreement with Jen. I have the agreements here for 35 million. So he would just, out of that excitement, and to me, Mwajirani had been recruited to implicate me. It's not that he had any money to bring to me. So the figures which are floated, 100 million, I was hearing those figures now there.
But why did he feel the need to call you? Because this is a matter you had handled.
Yes.
So definitely conflict of interest because it's on appeal.
Yes.
Why is he comfortable to call you to discuss this matter?
No. You are right to ask me that question.
Okay.
Just like a friend, he will just say, you know, now he's excited. Mwajirani is not employed, is educated. But out of that excitement, that looks, you know me, I don't have, my family lives in a rented place. You know me, nobody is assisting me. So I don't know whether Sonko is genuine, he has called me, he wants to buy this land, something like that. We have been talking, not frequently, infrequently, but he was calling because Jimmy had been talking to him, and he knew I also know Jimmy. And Jimmy told Mwajirani, don't worry, I even know the judge. If you want to clarify as to what type of a man I am, talk to the judge.
So you're saying your involvement was to vouch for this business of Mike Sonko and this other man purportedly. It was simply that?
You know now, yes, simply that. And each one of them is presenting a picture of suspicion. And now they're using me just to vote for. Jimmy is using me to vote that on Sonko is genuine. Jimmy is using me to vote that Mwajirani is genuine. Mwajirani wants me to say, if it's true, I've known Jimmy. Okay, to Mwajirani, it wasn't a big deal such that, because the land, he told me, okay, I'm holding brief for the owner, so I don't want to be seen that I've thrown the property. So Mwajirani also, this Jimmy man, are you sure you know him? I tell him I've known him for long.
Yeah.
Yes.
But Honorable Justice, do you not think in hindsight now to have gotten involved in a matter you handled,
yes,
rendered judgment,
yes,
and now on appeal,
yes,
and there are people seeking there's some transaction,
yes,
but to avert some loss of money according to them,
yes,
and they're dragging you into this. Do you see that those looking at the details you're giving tonight here on KTN News would wonder, why did you choose? Wouldn't you have best thing to say, deal with your business, I am an officer of the court, this could get murky as clearly is getting?
No, you know, initially, even the discussion on the case, all what they wanted was to vote that I know this man, go and deal with him. I know Mheshimiwa, go and deal with him. So now, you know this is a setup. You don't know. So if there are people calling you and talking, and even, you know, when somebody calls you and you are talking many things and he mentions it, then that is the part which is edited to continue the discussion. It's true that it was a matter I had handled. I knew it was, I had had. I was not so sure it was on appeal, but I had. But when Jimmy called me, he was saying they had agreed to withdraw the appeal. And he wanted Sonko to confirm that the appeal will be withdrawn and now he can pay them. But there was no money to be paid. This was just to come and record me.
So you're saying categorically that
yes.
their claim made that this money was to you?
Yes.
To facilitate whatever other ends these parties had?
Yes.
Is false?
There is no money that was to be paid to me. The 100 million was floated there. And you know now, the videos have been edited to the extent that Jimmy would say, in fact, for your information, they will say 300 million. We have an agreement for 300 million. The appellants had suggested they be paid 100 million. So when you mention 100 million, it's like you are interested in that 100 million. When we were there, the idea was, let the land be sold, let the appeal be withdrawn. They had agreed amongst themselves. Mheshimiwa called the appellants there, put them on speaker. And you know now, as I've given you the background, Sonko had that confidence in Juma. Huyu Mwajirani ni mtu wa nyumbani, why is he refusing to sell the land? Things like that. So I will tell you, you agree because you have come to my house. You are saying, all of you know me, and you are not agreeing. And the issue in court, you are withdrawing. And he called one David, put him on speaker, and they discussed. Surely they said, we have agreed. I will withdraw the appeal. Mm-hmm. That was David. Okay. And he negotiated with the Mheshimiwa up to 60 million. Then Mwajirani was there, asked, now you have heard David lowering his offer so that I get something like 200 million. So they're there talking. So
you've become, in this instance, like a business fixer as a judicial officer, because what you have said, to my understanding, yes, is they all trusted you. And yes, so you became the person to facilitate this transaction. Again, to the question, as a judicial officer, having handled the matter, wasn't it out of order for you to get involved in any form or shape? And especially in light of now what has transpired. I was not fixing anything. Okay. The initial, you know, this thing starts with an initial request. Okay. That I want to come. In fact, now when Jimmy was calling me, he didn't talk of a specific court case. He just said, I hear there is an appeal, which he had not had. Okay. So I didn't even know that, because he talked innocent. He didn't say, I'm told there is a case you handled, these properties. No, he just said, Saidi, right, this man says you have banned him from coming to your place. He's selling me some properties in South Coast. I know he has quite a number of properties. I didn't know which one. So they have arrived at your house. I didn't want to tell them, oh, it's which property is it? So, yeah, so it's not that I had the proud knowledge that this is a matter I handled. You come, I will talk to so and so. Yeah, no, I was not fixing any business. I was just trying a whole consulate who requests you as a friend. So another time, Governor Sonko then, right? Yes. Is visiting you at your house. He had a matter before you. No, when he had the matter, that's when I told him, Uncle, that was way back around November last year. Mm-hmm. And that's why I've told you, true to his word, he never came to my house. And all this is happening in July, after we had delivered our judgment. Mm-hmm. Yes. All these videos were taken on one day or two after we had delivered our judgment. In terms of public confidence, when a judicial officer, a public servant, for whatever being seen to engage in these kind of conversations in those kind of spaces, do you not think it brings in as far as confidence, it dents that, you know, there are these conversations going on about some property, and these are matters you've handled before, you never know you could handle matters concerning such individuals going forward. Again, did it not bother you? Does it not now? Do you not see the error and fault in that at the time?
No. You know, one, Jimmy was coming. I didn't know what was the transaction about.
Okay.
And as a friend said, it's many years, you remember, you know, you will talk, reminding you in the 90s when he used to come to the office, we go for lunch. So he would say, and he was actually pleading because I had said, I don't want to see Hot Sonko.
Yeah.
And as you say, he never used to come to my place. He never used to come. Even Majirani never used to come. So now with this person saying, please, I want to come with this gentleman. I think they are conning me. And he's somebody you know. So that public confidence, to me, I was not fixing any business. Now, but you know now these are people who will engage you. You can't say, what was the problem? Oh, it's this. Go away, go away. They are people you know.
In the past, you've seen people recorded, videos released. You've seen those kind of instances.
For your information, the moment when Sonko stepped in, I told you, Mjomba, and it was in the car. But being clever,
so you were outsmarted in that instance. You feared it would be recorded, but...
Yes. What he did, there was somebody with the glasses 1, 2. For him, he said, this Nepalese is worried that I will call him. Can I call the lawyer and confirm that we have agreed there is no case? So the idea is there is no case. That's what they were pushing to Jim. And not to me, they are all a setup. So I can say I regret having called them to my house. I didn't know what they were. I invited them as a friend, Jimmy as a friend. Not he was coming to give me any money. I even didn't know that Majirani is coming until he stepped out of the car. I said, you have been in Nairobi? Yes, I've been in Nairobi. So
if these are individuals,
yes,
Justice, that you've known for some time,
yes,
both the former governor and this gentleman.
Yes.
Then would you say you're a poor judge of character, that this would happen and you're in this mess and people you've known for years?
I think everybody has his own weak side. I trust people. I think that trust. I said, since there is no matter before me, they are not coming to talk about a court case before me or a court case which they have just said they have their own business. So it's not that you can accuse me and say, how did the judge do? You know, now these things are evolving as they are seated there. And he would say politely, Uncle, wachana na huyo atalipa ama kama ataki ende zake, things like that.
So what do you attribute the release of these clips to? What's the agenda here?
The agenda is we dismissed the petitions of Kananu. And I was presiding in that bench. And when I saw those videos in July, I called him. Mheshimiwa, why did you came to record me? He said, no, yo, wachana na hizo, I think it was Majirani and his people. He knows how to defend himself.
And you didn't see to it that the videos were deleted then?
So he said, no, he promised, said, wachana na hizo, nitawambia was it delete? You know, he talks in good Kiswahili, and we have lived with him in Kwale. So he said, hata isikusumbue, I will make sure that they are not circulated, nini, hiyo isikusumbue Mjomba. So those were his words. 1, 2, ile biashara tumemalizana. So he's telling me tumemalizana, hata hiyo appeal watatoa, nini, things like that.
So this to you is revenge by the former governor?
I have talked to people. He goes to Kwale. I've talked to more than 5 people there who have called me. He has vowed that the judge will have to be removed. Why did he dismiss my petition? He knew me. We come from the same county. He never used to talk about the case because I had barred him. I never used to talk to him on phone. The oath of my office, I never talked to him about the case. True to his word, he never used to call me, never used to come to my house.
But you are not the only judge listening to this matter, so why you?
He says, I know him. He doesn't know. The other two do not know him.
Exclusive interview with my colleague Sophia Wanuna. Justice Juma Chitembwe responding to the Sonko leaks. And tomorrow, in the Standard, the Bold newspaper, here is your headline, because we are still running this story, the revelations that the judge made following that leak of the leak of that tape. Let's take a look at the newspaper tomorrow, the Standard, the Bold newspaper. Is Chitembwe responds to Sonko tape. That is the headline. In an exclusive interview, the judge downplays video making the rounds on social media, describing them as edited and manipulated to fit a specific narrative, but they were recorded. He admits the videos were recorded, and he even talks about on KTN News Tonight, or he talks about who recorded those videos. So that's the Bold newspaper tomorrow, plus a host of other stories in the Standard tomorrow. Make sure you grab your copy for that exclusive interview with the Standard and, of course, KTN News. But that interview tomorrow, we play the whole version, about 45 minutes on News Center tomorrow morning. So